In the basement of the FBI's J. Edgar Hoover building, 5 file cabinets hold America's darkest secrets. Each drawer contains cases that have haunted federal agents for over 80 years. These aren't cold cases. They're active investigations from the 1940s. There's a crucial difference between a cold case and an open file. Cold cases sit in storage, forgotten and underfunded. Open cases have agents assigned, resources allocated, active leads being pursued. When local police departments give up, federal jurisdiction takes over. The Bureau operates under a different philosophy entirely. Local departments face budget cuts, personnel changes, political pressure. The FBI answers to no mayor, no city council, no election cycle. These 1940s cases remain open because someone, somewhere, is still working them. DNA technology advances. Witnesses come forward. Deathbed confessions surface. What you're about to hear are 5 cases that prove time doesn't heal all wounds. It just makes them more dangerous. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. January 15, 1947. A mother walking with her child in Los Angeles makes a discovery that will haunt America forever. What she found in that vacant lot wasn't just a body. It was something so disturbing that hardened detectives couldn't look. Elizabeth Short, 22 years old. Dreams of Hollywood stardom cut short in the most literal way imaginable. The killer had bisected her body at the waist, cut completely in half with surgical precision. But the precision of the cuts told investigators something chilling. This wasn't random violence. The killer possessed advanced anatomical knowledge, someone with medical or mortuary training. The body had been completely drained of blood, washed clean, posed for maximum shock value. The press dubbed her the Black Dahlia, and the case exploded into a media frenzy unlike anything America had seen. Confessions poured in immediately. Over 60 people claimed responsibility for Elizabeth Short's murder. The FBI investigated every single confession, every alleged witness, every supposed piece of evidence. But 77 years later, none of those confessions have led to an arrest. The Bureau's current position? The case remains open, but they're no longer actively pursuing leads. Elizabeth Short's killer took his surgical skills to the grave, leaving behind only questions. And somewhere in those 60-plus confessions, the FBI believes, lies either the truth. While the Black Dahlia shocked America with one brutal murder, Cleveland was already living through something far worse. Between 1935 and 1950, a predator stalked the city's underbelly. 13 confirmed victims, all dismembered with surgical precision. The killer's signature was unmistakable. Perfect decapitation, clinical dismemberment, body parts surfaced in the most horrifying places: sewers, railroad tracks, shallow graves. The torsos were always found first. Heads came later, sometimes never. Cleveland's safety director Elliot Ness threw everything at this case, and failed spectacularly. Ness raided shantytowns, interrogated hundreds, even burned down homeless camps. Nothing worked. The killer was always 3 steps ahead. The murders suddenly stopped in 1950, but the killer was never caught. Theories ranged from a skilled surgeon to a butcher with anatomical knowledge. Some believe the killer died, Others think he simply moved on to a new hunting ground. The FBI file remains open. 70 years later, they're still searching for answers. 13 families never got justice. Cleveland's most methodical killer simply vanished into history. Spring 1946 brought terror to the quiet twin cities of Texarkana. A phantom stalked the night, targeting young couples parked on moonlit lovers' lanes. Over 10 terrifying weeks, 5 brutal attacks shattered the community. The FBI would soon discover a pattern that defied explanation. February 22nd. Jimmy Hollis and Mary LeRae became the first victims. Attacked while parked on a secluded road, both survived to tell their terrifying story. The attacker wore a white mask. His voice was calm, almost pleasant, but his intentions were pure evil. 3 weeks later, Richard Griffin and Polly Ann Moore weren't so fortunate. Found shot to death in Griffin's Oldsmobile. The phantom's signature was becoming clear. Young couples, isolated locations, and always under the full moon's haunting glow. April 13th brought horror to the Starks' farmhouse. Virgil Stark was murdered in his own home. His wife, Katie, barely escaped with her life. Katie Stark's testimony chilled investigators. The killer moved like a ghost, striking without warning, then vanishing into the darkness. The FBI arrived with their best forensics experts. They collected shell casings, studied ballistics, and built a case that remains active today. Ballistics evidence linked every shooting. The same weapon, the same killer. But the phantom's identity remained a mystery. May 3rd marked the final confirmed attack. The phantom killer was terrorizing Texarkana when Chicago faced its own nightmare. A different kind of predator was stalking the streets. June 1945. Josephine Ross found murdered in her apartment. The killer left a chilling signature. Scrawled on her bathroom mirror in lipstick, quote, "For heaven's sake, catch me before I kill more." 6 months later. William Degnan, kidnapped and murdered. Another lipstick message found at the scene. Then Suzanne Degnan, 6 years old. Taken from her bedroom window. The city was in panic. Police arrested 17-year-old William Herons. He confessed to all 3 murders. Case closed. Or was it? The FBI kept digging. The ransom note evidence didn't match Aaron's handwriting. Forensic analysis revealed inconsistencies. More disturbing. Similar crimes across the Midwest. Identical lipstick messages. Same modus operandi. Detroit, Milwaukee, Cleveland. All featuring the exact same handwriting. The exact same plea for help. If Aarons was in custody, who was committing these copycat murders? Or were they copycats at all? The FBI files remain active. Not because Herons was innocent, but because someone else might still be out there. Forensic experts believe the real lipstick killer used Aaron's conviction as perfect cover. The ultimate deception. Herons died in prison in 2012. 67 years behind bars. Our final case brings us to a warm summer evening in 1948. Virginia Beach should have been paradise. The Carter family had everything. Successful father, loving mother, 3 bright children. Until someone decided they had too much. July 15th, 1948. When neighbors found the Carters, the brutality defied comprehension. 5 family members, each killed with methodical precision. This wasn't random violence. This was personal. The killer left behind evidence that 1948 forensic science couldn't decode. Fibers, hair, traces of an unknown substance. Local police had suspects. The business partner with mounting debts. The rejected suitor. The mysterious drifter seen near the property. But physical evidence told a different story. The killer knew the family's routines, knew their secrets, knew exactly when to strike. The FBI took over when local leads went cold. They found something investigators missed. Something that changed everything. Microscopic evidence under the victims. Fingernails. DNA that wouldn't be understood for another 30 years. The case file grew thicker. Witnesses emerged with contradictory stories. Each lead spawned 3 more dead ends. By 1950, the trail had frozen. The Carter family massacre joined America's growing list of perfect crimes. But the FBI never closed the file. Those mysterious fibers, that unknown substance, that precious DNA sample. Today, cutting-edge DNA technology breathes new life into 76-year-old evidence. The killer's genetic fingerprint waits in those samples. The Carter family killer might still be alive.